Sophie, and I'm going to do a bit of a different tag actually. This is one that I saw on Annie Eleni's channel. I think she's the creator, but I'm not 100% sure, so please don't quote me on that. But I'll link to her channel below. If anyone doesn't know who she is, she's a just an all-round awesome person. She's a queer disabled person of color, and she's very well spoken. She's an advocate, and she's just really cool. Yeah. So she's put up this chronic pain tag. Now, technically, my disabilities aren't considered to be chronic pain conditions, but I do get a lot of pain. It's very varied pain. It's never the same. So I'm going to do it anyway. Fuck it. So how or when did your chronic pain begin? Well, mine started occasionally in high school, where my knees would just get really, really sore, and yeah, there were a few times that I collapsed. I didn't understand why, and then just as the years went on, the pain got worse. It became pretty much constant. I started collapsing more, which turned out to be my knees popping out of place, and I didn't know. Which kind of explains what that pain is like, that I didn't realize that I was collapsing because my knees were popping out of place. Because I was already in so much pain that it just didn't register to me that it was super painful for that to be happening. And then, yeah, it's just progressively gotten worse over the years. What kind of pain do you experience, and what does it feel like? So I sort of live with a constant pain, and it doesn't stop. It doesn't stop when I go to bed. It doesn't stop when I sleep. No amount of deep heat or strapping my knees up or anything like that helps. It's pain all the time, and it's like I'm not great at explaining it. We'll put it that way, but it's sort of like an ache, but a stabbing ache, if that makes any sense at all. So there's a stabbing ache, and it's constant. And the only thing that changes is how much it hurts, like the severity of it. Like there's like a constant sort of level, and then I get spikes up where where my knee moves out of place, or my muscles start to hurt, or I push it too far. All sorts of stuff can make it worse. But then I also get spasms, where, all my muscles and stuff just sort of seize up, and it feels like my knee is shaking, and it hurts like a motherfucker. I lose circulation, so then I've got pain from pins and needles when the circulation starts to come back. And there's something else. And then when it's cold, I get a lot of pain as well. I'm not great at explaining it, but yeah, it's there all the time. It doesn't matter what I do. The more I push it, the worse it is, and weather affects it, little things affect it, and then I also get related pain. So if I'm making myself stand up or walk to do something, I also get pain in my hips, I get pain in my lower back, my ankles and my feet as well. And that's the same sort of aching sort of pain, with like little tiny stabbing feelings. Yeah. Is it consistent or on and off? It's consistent, and it spikes, as I said. Do you have any specific triggers for your pain? Not really. Like I said, it's sort of constant, but sometimes things just spike. Like the spasms don't have a trigger as such. They can just happen anytime at all. It doesn't matter. And I'm at a point where my knees can pop out of place. Even if I am sitting here at my computer desk, not moving my legs, my knee can pop out of place. They just move. Like, I don't have control over it. I can't really stop it. Knee braces and knee tape and all that sort of stuff, they stopped working years ago. So yeah, but obviously, when they do pop out of place, it hurts more. So I guess that would be a trigger for a spike. If I have to walk or stand, that hurts more. And yeah, I guess those would be triggers. How does your pain limit you? Um, Most of the time, it's just, I wouldn't say, I don't know, that's kind of a difficult one because it doesn't limit me as such, but it does. Um, and one of the things I need to explain to you is that I have a lot of like medicinal intolerances and allergies and stuff, so I can't take any pain medication. Um, Even if, yeah, like I could probably get it, but I can't take it because I'd end up in hospital or dead. Um, so my pain I have to cope with on my own. And when I'm having really bad pain days, when I'm having a lot of really bad pain spikes, I pretty much just curl up around a bucket and hope to God I don't puke. That's how I deal with it. So I guess that's a limit in itself. But also just when I get what I consider normal pain, so like when I get headaches and stuff like that, I find it a lot harder to deal with when I get sick. And things like being able to push my wheelchair around, if my arms start to get tired, I feel it so much more because I'm already in pain and it's like sort of like just stacking and I can't deal with it too much. So I guess in that case, it limits me. I'm really careful about going anywhere where I might have to push myself around a lot. Um, I I pretty much I sort of pretend that I can't walk at all when I go out because it does hurt so much, and that any time that I do get up and I do walk, I'm risking my knees popping out and me collapsing, which is not a good thing, and it hurts so much more. So I guess in that way it limits me as well because I'm keeping myself away from a lot of things I could probably manage to do just because it's not accessible and I don't want to risk it. So I guess that's probably the limitation, is that I'm so afraid of collapsing and my knees popping out that I don't do things. And then yeah, just my bad pain days, I just curl up in bed and just not move from the bucket because yeah, that's all I can do. How do you cope with your pain? I said I have no choice. That's all it is I have no choice but to cope with it. I can't, like I've tried all sorts of different things. Like I tried meditation and yoga and all sorts of stuff, and natural remedies and all sorts of, nothing fucking works. Like it doesn't matter. It's pain. It's there. I have no choice. That's how I deal with it. Is because I don't get a say in it. Um, I try to get as much done as I can, and I mean, I have days where the pain is just so much that I have no spoons. I can't do anything. Like, even just getting up and putting a t-shirt on is like, to me, some days it's just like, holy shit, I actually got semi-dressed. It's a fucking miracle. Um, and that's all I can do, is I'm just going to try and take it, not even a day at a time, because my pain can change within minutes, like within hours. It just, yeah, I just sort of had to take it one thing at a time and just deal. And I've had to teach myself that it's okay to have bad days, that it's okay to not get things done sometimes. It's okay that I can't do things. And yeah. Next question is, when are you most comfortable? Um, Pretty much when I'm sitting down. And I have to be I have to be sitting on certain chairs. Like in my wheelchair, my computer chair, I'm fine. If I sit on my bed with my legs over the side of the bed, I can only sit like that for a little while before. Like it just seems that sitting in certain seats cuts. It makes my knees sit in a different place and it cuts circulation off. so I have to be really careful. If I sit on the bed with my legs up on the bed as well, I have to move every 2 to 3 minutes, otherwise I lose circulation. Um, just like I basically can't have my legs, like my lower legs, at the same level as my knees. They've got to be slightly lower or slightly higher. I can't just have everything sort of level and straight. So, yeah, basically, in my wheelchair, in my computer chair, or my easy lift chair that I've got in the lounge room. Because, I mean, like I said, my knees still pop out even if I'm sitting down, even if I'm not walking or doing anything. But I'm comfortable because I know I can sit in them for a long time, and I'm not going to lose circulation. I'm not going to cause myself any extra pain from sitting in them, unlike other chairs that I sit in and, the circulation drops. So, yeah. And the next two questions are, how do you feel least supported? Um, just the fact that I've lost a fuckload of friends since I started using the wheelchair. I've had people that I've known for years literally turn their back on me when I've gone up to say hello because I've been in the wheelchair. Um, I don't get invited to anything anymore, and I haven't been for several years now. And I mean, that could be due in part as well because I quit drinking and, a bunch of other stuff. But it just seems like the main cause of that was the wheelchair. People don't want to be seen with me. People don't want to, like, I don't ask people for help. I try to be independent. I try to do it all on my own. And people just sort of assume that if they ask me to go out with them, that they're going to have to take care of me and they're going to have to help me. And, oh, no, I don't want to do that. So, there are people I haven't seen for years, basically. I don't get to go out anywhere. And when I do go out, it's usually so much fucking effort because, I've got to, before I go out anywhere, I've got to call the venue first, like a day or two in advance, and say, hey, can I even get my wheelchair in there? And then I have to plan all my public transport stuff, like, way in advance. And it usually takes me, an extra hour to travel anywhere because, accessibility is not assured on every service. And it's just, I think in those cases, that's where I feel least supported. Like, it just frustrates me. And then little things like yesterday, for example, I went to my local recreation centre because I'm going to be volunteering there. And there's a crossing that is really dodgy. So you got to, you come down, you cross over, and then where the gutter meets the road, there's this huge ledge. And because you're going downhill, well, at least because I'm going downhill, I can't lift my caster wheels up to get over it. So I've got to stop, turn around, go backwards, go over this ledge, and then turn back around and go up the curb. But there's just not enough space to build up any speed. You lose all the momentum that you have from crossing over. And I got stuck, and I couldn't get up the ramp properly. And there were people driving past laughing at me. Like, not a single person pulled over to see if I needed help. Nothing. They just laughed. And that's the thing. Like, shit like that happens all the fucking time. And it pisses me off. Like I said, I try to be independent. I try to do it on my own. But when I'm obviously having trouble, people would rather laugh than ask if I need a hand. And that, no, not on. And then how do you feel most supported? Well, when people come up and say, hey, do you need a hand? The fact that, my housemate Andrew, he won't ask me to go anywhere that he knows isn't accessible. Or if he knows that it's something that I do want to do and they're not accessible, he offers to go out of his way to help me get in there walking. And he goes, oh, we can carry the chair up, or, we can carry the chair downstairs or whatever, and we can still go, and, we'll just make everyone else move out of the way. And, I'm quite a shy, timid person when I'm in the chair. I don't like to feel like I'm in the way. So, he's the complete opposite. He's like, nah, like, fuck everyone else. Like, just they can fucking move out of your way. Like, fuck it, you deserve to be here too. And it's good because, yeah. What else? Just being invited places is fucking nice. Like, having people go, oh, hey, we're doing dinner at this place, and it's accessible. We've already checked for you. Like, oh wow, like, thank you. Like, that's less work that I have to do, and it shows that you've actually thought about me actually coming. It's not just oh, yeah, well, it happens that it is. Like, they've actually gone out of their way to find a venue that is accessible, and that's nice. And then people just wanting, even things that I've planned, this goes back to, I guess, the least supported, is like stuff like, I've said, hey, I've got these 2 movie tickets that I got, for an advanced screening for this movie. Andrew can't come along with me. Does anyone want to come with me? And nobody does. And it's just like, are you serious? Like, nobody at all wants to go see a free movie. And, like, a few people might say, oh, like, I wish I could, but it's on at this other time that I've got this other thing. It's like, oh, yeah, that's cool. But most people don't. They don't even bother saying anything. They just don't want to. And it always just feels like, well, they don't want to hang out with me. If it was someone else, they'd probably go, but it's because they don't want to hang out with me. They don't want to be seen with me, whatever the case may be. So, in that regard, I feel pretty not supported too. Because it's like, I'm offering you a free movie, you don't have to fucking pay for shit. You just got to show up and sit and watch the movie. Hell, I wouldn't even be pissed off if you showed up and went and sat somewhere completely different from where I have to sit. Because, fuck it, I just don't want it to go to waste. And, yeah. It's a thing. It's a thing, and it pisses me off. Yeah. So, that's the tag. I'll leave it there, because it's almost 20 minutes long now. Yeah, so I'll link Annie Eleni's channel below, and I'll put the questions down as well, so that, because I know there's a few people who do FlossTube and who watch me who have disabilities and chronic pain conditions and stuff too, who might enjoy doing this. And, like, for me, it's just like, the more we talk about it, the more open we are about it, maybe one day there'll be less assholes in the world who carry on like everyone does. There'll be more invitations to go out with people. There'll be more accessible venues, more accessible public transport. It'll be easier for people with disabilities if we don't shut the fuck up about it, basically. So, yeah. I'll see you guys later.